In recent years, the BRICS countries have demonstrated tremendous economic dynamism, outperforming the G7's conventional economic powerhouses. This tendency is mentioned in the current International Monetary Fund World Economic Outlook report, which was released on July 16, 2024. According to the IMF's predictions for 2024 to 2025, these emerging markets are not only recovering strongly from the global upheavals of recent years. Nonetheless, they are establishing themselves as key drivers of global growth. The IMF report points to a dramatic shift in the global economic landscape. While industrialized economies like the G7 are predicted to maintain steady but modest growth rates, the BRICS countries and their emerging market counterparts are expected to see significantly greater growth rates. This disparity in growth rates is not a fad, but rather a reflection of deeper structural changes and intentional economic strategies in these rising economies. In contrast, the G7 countries are dealing with aging populations, slowing productivity growth, and the long-term repercussions of financial crises and economic uncertainty. As the IMF research shows, the global economic center of gravity is rapidly shifting to these dynamic developing markets. This transformation is likely to have far-reaching consequences for global trade, investment, and geopolitical ties. The BRICS and other emerging economies' persistent higher growth rates underline their growing relevance in driving global economic advancement, as well as the need for a more inclusive and representative global economic governance framework. Global inflation is predicted to steadily diminish, with headline inflation falling to 5.8% in 2024 and 4.4% in 2025. This demonstrates the impact of disinflationary policies and the resolution of supply-side concerns. Now is the time to look at the BRICS countries' economic forecasts. The BRICS nations, which now include Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and Ethiopia, are expected to have distinct economic paths in 2024 and 2025. China and India are the fastest-growing economies, owing to their robust manufacturing and IT services sectors, respectively. Russia depends largely on energy exports, primarily oil and natural gas, whereas Brazil's economy derives from agricultural and mineral exports. South Africa's growth is fueled by the mining and financial services industries. The new members contribute additional strengths, including Iran and Saudi Arabia with considerable oil exports, the UAE with a diverse economy focused on tourism and real estate, Egypt with a strong textile and agricultural foundation, and Ethiopia with important agricultural products such as coffee. Let's take a look at each country's economic projection based on the latest IMF estimates. China is expected to increase by 5% in 2024 and 4.5% in 2025. Strong domestic demand, property-related policy measures, and healthy exports all contribute to growth. Risks include property sector adjustments and external pressures, but the economy benefits from significant policy instruments and structural reforms aimed at high-quality development. Let us take a little break. Could you do us a favor? If you love our material, please click the like button. To help even more, please share your views and criticism in the comments section. Your participation helps us grow. Thank you. India's GDP prediction has been revised to 7% for 2024 to 25, owing to improved private consumption and strong rural demand. Key reasons include strong economic fundamentals, government infrastructure spending, and investment-friendly changes. Inflation control and global economic uncertainty are two major challenges. Russia is anticipated to expand by 1.2% in 2024 and 1.5% in 2025. Internal policies and external economic factors like as sanctions and global energy prices all have an impact on growth. Key sectors fueling growth include energy and industry, but geopolitical concerns pose considerable dangers. Brazil's economy is expected to rise by 1.9% in 2024 and 2.2% in 2025. This growth is being driven by structural changes and the resurgence of major industries like as agriculture and services. Inflation control and political stability are two major economic challenges. Iran is projected to grow at 2% in 2024, owing to persistent economic constraints and geopolitical issues affecting oil exports and general economic stability. Diversifying the economy and reducing reliance on oil are critical for long-term growth. The UAE is anticipated to grow at 4.3% in 2024, owing to excellent performance in tourism, real estate, and continued economic diversification efforts. The UAE benefits from strategic investments in infrastructure and technology, which aim to minimize its reliance on oil. Egypt is expected to grow at 4.5% in 2024, spurred by investments in infrastructure, recovery, tourism, and manufacturing. Key issues include managing debt levels and maintaining political stability to maintain investor trust. Ethiopia's anticipated growth rate in 2024 is 5.3%. This expansion is aided by investments in agriculture, infrastructure, and services, despite the persisting political and social problems. Efforts to strengthen governance and implement economic reforms are crucial to maintaining growth. What do the G7 economies look like? The G7 countries will encounter several complicated economic challenges in 2024 and 2025, including inflation, energy transition, technological advancement, and geopolitical conflicts. Inflation is a major concern, with central banks maintaining high interest rates to contain growing costs. This method influences economic activity, offering the possibility of slower development as advanced nations such as the United States and the United Kingdom try to balance fiscal policies while facing significant debt levels. The G7 has prioritized the shift to renewable energy. The goal is to treble renewable energy capacity and double energy efficiency by 2030, which will necessitate the phase-out of unabated coal power in the early 2030s, as well as significant investment in long-duration energy storage. These actions are critical to meeting climate targets, but they require strong international cooperation and investment. Technological innovation, particularly in artificial intelligence, AI, and semiconductor supply chains, is also a critical area of focus. Ensuring ethical AI development while reducing risks and protecting human dignity is critical. Furthermore, the G7 intends to strengthen semiconductor supply chains to reduce dependence and improve economic security. Geopolitical conflicts, particularly between China and Russia, have a substantial impact on economic policies. The G7 is exploring ways to defend economic security and maintain fair trade practices, such as tackling non-market policies and strengthening global supply chains. Collaborative efforts are underway to assist emerging countries and improve their integration into global markets. These diverse issues need concerted efforts by G7 nations to promote stable economic growth, technological innovation, and sustainable development while navigating the complexity of global geopolitics. Let's take a look at each G7 country's economic prediction based on the most recent IMF estimates. The United States is expected to expand by 2.6% in 2024 and 1.9% in 2025. Despite high inflation and interest rates, the U.S. economy is proving resilient, with robust consumer spending and a strong labor market driving growth. Monetary policy tightening and geopolitical concerns continue to pose significant threats to the outlook, potentially hurting consumer confidence and investment decisions. Canada is anticipated to expand by 1.8% in 2024 and 1.6% in 2025. Strong domestic demand, a rising energy industry, and robust government investment all contribute to growth. The challenges include regulating inflation and interest rates, which may influence consumer spending and investment. The United Kingdom is expected to expand by 1.2% in 2024 and 1.4% in 2025. Positive indicators include less Brexit uncertainty and robust consumer spending. However, the UK is facing headwinds from high inflation, tighter monetary policy, and probable trade disruptions. Germany is anticipated to increase at a rate of 1.1% in 2024 and 1.5% in 2025. Exports and industrial production are both strong growth drivers. However, supply chain disruptions and fluctuating energy prices pose considerable threats to the economy. France is expected to expand by 1.3% in 2024 and 1.5% in 2025. Strong public investment, particularly in the green and digital sectors, as well as a tourism resurgence, are driving growth. Inflation and labor market changes remain significant challenges. Italy is expected to expand by 1.0% in 2024 and 1.3% in 2025. Growth is being fueled by structural changes, a comeback in manufacturing and services, and EU recovery funding. The challenges include controlling public debt and executing critical changes. Japan's forecasted growth rates are 0.7% in 2024 and 1.0% in 2025. Japan's growth is being fueled by an accommodative monetary policy, higher government spending, and a revival in domestic demand. However, aging populations and global trade uncertainty pose long-term challenges. In short, the BRICS countries have stronger growth rates and economic vitality than the G7 countries. BRICS nations benefit from a wide range of economic strengths, including manufacturing, energy exports, and agricultural production, all of which contribute to strong economic performance. In contrast, the G7 economies face rising inflation, energy transition issues, and geopolitical conflicts that limit their growth potential. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching the video. We sincerely thank you for joining us today. If our work resonated with you or inspired you, please consider showing your support by liking it and subscribing to keep connected with our community.